Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the University of Michigan. I understand you already had an amazing day yesterday, and I'm excited to kick off this second day. I'm Rebecca Cunningham. I'm the Associate Vice President for Research at University of Michigan, and I am pleased to welcome you to day 2 of our Michigan Sport Concussion Summit. As an emergency medicine physician and director of the U of M Injury Prevention Center, my work all too often has revolved around brain injury and concussion. At the Injury Prevention Center, funded by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, we have particular interest in the prevention of concussion, as well as other injury topics like opioid overdose, sexual violence, youth violence, and motor vehicle crash. Concussion prevention is such a critical aspect of our research mission at the center, and I am so very excited that many of you have joined us today, both in person as well as via our live stream, which is quite full. This packed room today shows the importance of this topic. What makes this particular summit so important is it brings together people from so many different disciplines together so that we can explore the latest in concussion prevention research. It is together that we will move this problem ahead. Today's agenda was tailored to suit your specific interests around the scientific aspect of sport concussion prevention. But before we get started, I would really like to recognize the members of the planning committee who organized this week's summit. Thank you so much for all of the work that you've done. I'd also like to thank all of our presenters for their time and effort in making sure we had a productive summit. And I know, having had the fabulous opportunity to have dinner last night, that we have an amazing lineup of energy ahead of us this morning. Finally, I'd like to recognize the units across campus that generously supported this year's summit. The Michigan Concussion Center, the U of M Biosciences initiative, which has been amazing at bringing together high-focus, important topics such as this across campus. The CDC Injury Prevention Center, Michigan Athletics, MedSport, and the U of M Medical School. I am now so pleased to introduce the director of the Michigan Concussion Center and the concussion content lead for our CDC Injury Prevention Center, Dr. Steve Broglio.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you everyone for coming, and those that are joining us literally from around the world on the webcast. I had a chance to look at the registration list yesterday, and we have people from Europe that are streaming in right now, so it's pretty exciting. We have a great lineup of speakers today, 14 speakers from across the country and one from Canada, 2 from Canada, excuse me. So we're excited to bring that information and disseminate it to you today. I do want to thank our sponsors, Michigan Athletics, for this great venue that they've provided to us. They've been a longtime supporter of the work that we've been doing. The medical school and MedSport, who were largely responsible for yesterday's content and delivering that I think most of you in the room were able to attend. The Injury Prevention Center, so Dr. Cunningham just spoke a bit about their work, but they've been a longtime supporter of concussion research and outreach across campus. And then, of course, the Biosciences initiative, which is funding the newly founded Michigan Concussion Center, bringing faculty and staff from across campus together to help solve problems related to research, clinical care, and outreach. I want to recognize a couple members of the center, our executive committee, J.T. Eckner, who I think is in the back, waving. He's the director of our research core. Matt Lorenz, I think, is also in the back, maybe. Oh, right in the middle, who helps run our clinical care core. And then Christina Coe, who runs our outreach core. I don't believe she was able to make it today. We're very excited. The center is going to be adding 3 new faculty over the next 2 years. So we're excited to keep moving research and clinical care forward. Before we get started, a couple housekeeping items. So the day is split into morning and afternoon sessions. So questions, the speakers won't be taking questions immediately after their talks, but you'll note that there's cards on the center of your table if you want to write your questions down. We'll have people walking around that can collect the cards, and then we'll have moderated panel discussion at the end of the morning and afternoon sessions, and we can answer it then. Those viewing by webcast, you can email your questions in to umconcussion@umich.edu, and we will collate those questions for our panel speakers as well. And during those sessions, while we certainly want and are encouraging open and honest dialogue throughout the day, just a reminder that the sessions are being recorded, so maybe keep it professional for later viewing. Wi-Fi login and password information is in your program, I believe on the inside cover if you need to log in. And then at the end of the day, there will be a short tour of the stadium that will take place after the last speaker. It'd be about 4:30 or 5 o'clock when that gets started. So if you have time to stick around afterwards, you can take a look at the big house. Perhaps most important thing of the day, the restrooms are in the back corner if you need to make use. Now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our welcome speaker, Dr. Roger Cohen. Dr. Cohen is the Mary Sue Coleman Director and Research Professor of the Michigan Life Sciences Institute. He is Vice Provost and Director of the Michigan Biosciences Initiative. Prior to arriving at Michigan in 2016, he was the Joe Davis Chair in Biomedical Science at Vanderbilt University Medical School. He's also the Director of the Vanderbilt Institute for Obesity and Metabolism and Associate Director of Vanderbilt's Diabetes Research and Training Center. He's received many awards for his work in metabolism and energy homeostasis, notably from the U.S. Endocrine Society, the German Endocrine Society, the American Physiological Society, and he was elected to the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, the National Academy of Medicine, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Roger Cohen.
Welcome to everyone here this morning. It's really a thrill for me personally to be here. Just as many of you are engaged in very long-term experiments to understand concussion and neurodegeneration that results long-term from concussion, the University of Michigan is engaged right now in a long-term experiment on trying to learning how to advance research excellence. And so under our president, President Mark Schlissel, the university launched the Biosciences initiative 2 years ago. The goal of the initiative is to identify new emerging areas of science and to find areas of leadership in science at the University of Michigan and find ways to fund those new and emerging areas in a way that will advance research excellence optimally. And so President Schlissel appointed a committee of scientists across the entire university. And of course, there's tremendous breadth here at the University of Michigan with 11 schools and colleges working in the life sciences to tap into. And so that committee set to work to identify ways to embed 30 new faculty tenure lines within these emerging cutting-edge research initiatives. So a year ago, we began by putting out a call to the faculty here across the university for new research initiatives. We got 16 proposals, and we ended up funding 5 of those proposals, and one of those proposals, as you've heard about today, is the Michigan Concussion Center. And that proposal, led by Dr. Broglio and his colleagues, provided exactly what we were looking for, identifying new areas of research and treatment where they felt they could advance concussion science to the next level by adding in areas of expertise that we could grow in here at the University of Michigan. Now, they identified 3 areas to expand into: research, clinical care, and education and outreach. And this symposium that you're all participating in today represents that education and outreach component. So for me, this is like seeing my children come home. I'm thrilled to see you all here today and wish you a very successful symposium. Thank you.